Hello everybody, and welcome to the PFS Guide to the Open Awards Online Functional Skills English Level 2 Reading Exam. I'm going to be taking you through step by step and question by question in this guide on how we can get the most out of the exam. Let's jump in. Okay, so we're going to begin by giving the question a good read, then we're going to give the source a good read as well, just so we can properly understand it. The question reads, give a definition of flow stores as stated in text 1 and explain 2 ways in which you can register to become a customer. Then the source reads, welcome to our new flow stores. QuickBuy is delighted to announce the arrival of our first ever flow store. As soon as you register and enter a flow store, a bright new world opens up. A world where shopping is no longer a chore, where buying foods is a relaxing, restful experience, avoiding queues, checkouts and hassle. Just put your shopping bag straight into your bag. Our new floor stores will open 24 hours a day, and although there will be no staff on the premises, you'll be able to contact our support team using our on-site video phone. The team will be allowed to view everything that happens in the shop, so you can relax in the knowledge that you are not alone. QuickBuy is opening 100 floor stores nationwide this year, and another 900 over the next 3 years. We look forward to seeing you, even if you won't see us. It's important as well that we give these footnotes a read. These will help us understand more of the information in the text. So footnote 1 says that an unmanned store is one with no checkout tills. Payment is automatically taken off of your credit or debit card as you leave. Number 2 says that customers can register at the start of their first visit. Just call our support team using the video phone outside of the local store and give them your name, address and credit or debit card details. That's all it takes to start your shopping experience. And finally, footnote number 3 says our customer service department, like our stores, will be open 24 hours a day. So we can see that the question asks us first to give a definition of flow stores. We can see that in footnote 1 that it's an unmanned store with no checkout tills and where payment is automatically taken off your credit or debit card as soon as you leave. We can see that the second part of this question asks us 2 ways in which we might become a customer. We can see that in the second footnote here, where it says customers can register at the start of their first visit by using the video phone outside the local store and giving them the name, address, and credit card or debit card details. So our answer to question 1 might look like something like this. A flow store is an unmanned store with no checkout tills. You can register by calling support on the video phone provided and giving them your name, address, and debit card details. Question 2, which is on the same source, asks us what is the purpose of text 1? Explain how you know this. So, in the text, we can have a look at what language features are available to us to tell us what the purpose of the text might be. For example, we can see a lot of positive language in this first paragraph, such as where buying food is a relaxing, restful experience, avoiding queues, checkouts and hassle. So, we can summarise from that the purpose of text 1 might be to encourage people to come and visit the new flow stores. You can also see that it talks about the ease of how you can sign up to use the flow stores, which serves as further encouragement. So, our answer for question 2 might look like something like this. The purpose is to encourage people to use flow stores. This is done through the positive language used about the stores, as well as saying how much they look forward to seeing new customers. And we can see here where they talk about looking forward to seeing new customers. So we can see that for both questions 3 and 4, they are about text 2. And question 3 asks us, Jayhawks in text 2 describes his experience of flow stores. Give 1 fact and 1 opinion he uses to support his point of view. So here in question 3, we come to text 2. I'm going to read through this with you so we can both understand it properly together. So it reads, The Perfect Future, or The Perfect Nightmare, article written by Jayhawks. I've just been shown the future of shopping. Posh boutiques are history. Online is old hat. Old-fashioned high street shops are back. Old-fashioned high street shops with one big difference. No trolley, no checkout, no staff. Walk in, grab what you need, leave. Your account is charged automatically. Walk in, walk out. I had to try this, so off I went. At the shop my details were taken and a machine gave me a store card. Essential. You can't get into the shop without waving it. And it so worked. The door whooshed open, and in I went. Testing the system, I kept my store card in my pocket and filled my shopping bag. No basket, no trolley, no scanning. The technology sees what you take and adds it to your bill. Cunningly hidden cameras observe what you take and charge your account. If you put something back again, it sees that too, and you will be charged. Then it was time to leave. I just walked out. That was the oddest bit of all. I felt like a shoplifter. But I also felt like the shop had suddenly become my kitchen cupboard. In a weird way, it was my shop. A minute later, I get a message on my phone with my bill. I check for mistakes, but it was spot on. Consider the advantages. No more moving purchases from shelves to trolley. No more race to cash tills searching for the shortest queue. No more glaring at the time waster in front. No more unloading purchases onto a conveyor belt which moves forward, or not, to suit itself. No more competition trying to fill your bags more quickly than the cashier can scan. Like two competitors racing to see who can move groceries around the fastest. Will this change the world? Maybe. Improve our lives? Maybe. In any case, we may soon not have a choice. A shop without staff is easier and cheaper to manage. Service, however impersonal, is guaranteed. I'll certainly get used to it, but will I miss the personal touch? I'm not sure. So now, in question 3, we're asked to find one opinion and one fact that Jayhawks uses within his article to back up his view. So, when we come to a question like this, it's important for us to think about what exactly is being asked of us. So in this case, what exactly a fact is, and what exactly an opinion is in relation to the article. Now this might seem obvious, but asking ourselves what a fact is in relation to an article can be an interesting question. Of course, there are facts within the article. It's written by Jayhawks, for example. But that's not what the question is asking us. What we're being asked for is a fact about the store. So, for example, the fact that there are hidden cameras that observe what you take and charge your account. That is a fact about the store that Jayhawks is writing about. An opinion, on the other hand, is something more informed by his own personal experience. So, for example, up here, where we have, but I also felt like the shop had suddenly become my kitchen cupboard. In a weird way, it was my shop. There is very little objective about the shop here. He isn't describing what it looks like, or what it sounds like, or anything like that. He's instead describing the feeling it gives him, which is a subjective opinion, which he uses to support his point of view. So, an answer for this question might look something like this. A fact he gives is that hidden cameras observe what you take, then automatically charge your account. An opinion he gives is that the shop had suddenly become his kitchen cupboard, feeling like my shop. So now we come to question 4. This question asks us, text 2 repeatedly uses short sentences. Explain why you think the author does this. So, our answer for question 4 might look like this. Short sentences are used as a way to present a lot of information at one time, and we can see this within the source. For example here, where it says no basket, no trolley, no scanning. These short sentences reinforce the seamless experience that a shopper goes through when they come into a Flow store. And in an article of this size, using these shorter sentences helps convey more information with less words. So, question 5 and 6 concern text 3. We are asked to identify the main reason why the author of text 3 is against Flow stores and explain why we think this. So let's give text 3 a proper read. So, question 5 asks us to identify the main reason why the author of text 3 is against Flow stores. We can see that here in big bold text at the top of the document. It's the march to defend jobs. So it's implied here, but stated more concretely later in the text, that the reason that they're against Flow stores is because they think it will reduce the amount of jobs available to people in the local community. So our answer might look like this. The main reason is because Flow shops will result in job losses, shown through the title of the page in larger text. So, question 6 asks us to identify 2 organisational features used by the author of text 3 and give an example of what each of them helps you find. So we can see one of them in these bullet points here. These help the reader find things out about Flow stores and are a good way of making information clear. And then the second is this box here in the centre. This is really good for highlighting the central point of the argument being made by the text. So our answer might look like this. One organisational feature is bullet points, helping the reader to find things about Flow stores that should be rejected. Another is a box which helps to show the reader the main argument for rejecting Flow stores. So now we move on to question 7, which along with questions 8, 9 and 10 are about multiple different sources that we've covered already. Question 7 asks us to compare the views of the authors of text 1 and 3 on the subject of flow stores and how these views are conveyed. So our answer for question 7 might look like this. Text 1 conveys flow stores as a part of a new world and is only positive about technology used. It does this through explanatory longer sentences to make the reader feel welcome and repeating positive words like relaxing. In contrast, text 3 considers flow stores to only be a negative thing, focusing on the impact on the lives of staff members rather than the ease of use for the customer. This is conveyed through repeating the word no in bold and using shorter sentences to create a more insistent tone, promising readers that jobs will be lost as a result of the technology used. So here in both text 1 and 3, we're looking at primarily language features and how they're organised, and how these language features imply a tone in the texts. For example, text 1 is a more positive tone, and text 3 is a more negative tone, and how the specific words are used both in structure, so where they are and what they look like on the page, and in their meaning, so what the actual word means and what that implies emotionally for the rest of the text. So, question 8 is about text 2. Text 2 contains more detail about flow stores than the other two texts. Give 2 reasons why you think this is the case. So, to answer this question, we need to think about text 2, but we also need to think about it in relation to text 1 and 3 as well. So, for example, when we think about text 1, here, it's trying to encourage new customers to go and check out a flow store. However, text 2 is trying to describe what a flow store is like to somebody who's never been to one before. So we can think that text 2 needs more information because it's trying to describe a new experience, but text 1 needs less information because it is trying to convince somebody to go and try it for themselves. So our answer for question 8 might look like this. Text 1 needs less detail, as its aim is to encourage readers to go to a flow store for themselves and try it out, instead of reading about it, while text 2 therefore needs more detail, as it is trying to explain to a reader who hasn't seen one before what they are like. So, question 9 asks us to identify the styles of writing used in text 1 and 2. Give one example from each text to suggest the style of writing. So, within text 1, we can see that it's trying to be persuasive. We can see this through the positive language that's being used, specifically about how easy it is to shop in a flow store. Whereas with text 2, we can see that it's trying to be informative. We can see that through its use of objective information, such as the hidden cameras that observe what you take. This is because it's trying to describe what it's like to shop within a flow store. So our answer for question 9 might look like this. The style of text 1 is persuasive, for example defining the shopping experience in the flow stores as relaxing and restful as a way to encourage readers to shop at the store. The style of text 2 is informative, giving facts like the hidden cameras tracking what is in your bag and what has been put back to ensure you are charged correctly. So we come to our last question here, which asks us, which text do you consider to be the least biased? Using all 3 texts, explain your selection. So our answer for question 10 might look like this. Text 2 is the least biased as it puts forward equally both sides of an argument, whereas text 1 only conveys positive messaging about flow stores, and text 3 only uses emotive language to try and persuade readers to protest against flow stores. Now when we consider a question like this, we have to consider both the language features of each source, as well as what they're trying to accomplish. So for example, in text 3, we can see that emotive language, such as getting rid of our jobs, and language features like exclamation points and question marks that engage with the reader more so than perhaps the other 2 articles.